Yo, what up, Gabbo? It's your boy Pierre. You know how we do, nigga. I got these three movies, man. Slice 1, 2, and 3. It's a horror comedy. It's basically what a motherfucker gonna do, a black person would do in a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saving nobody. You running with your girl and shit. You quoting out, motherfucker killing behind you and her and she fall and shit. Fucking bitch. You know, you just met for, you just met her ass. So what the fuck? Keep on running. We keep running and shit. We kill the white man first, right off the rip before the credits even start rolling, nigga. Fuck out of here. You know, we die always first, so now it's time for them to die first. But this movie ain't never been released before, man. Ain't nobody ever seen these movies before. They won some film festival awards. My man Robert Townsend loved them and said some of the funniest shit he ever seen.
I'm taking you to the hole.
I am Alexis.
Oh, hell no!
Negro, your name is Alex.
I got prostitution midgets up in my house. I want them out now.
I got a criminal justice degree from Everest.
Just shut up. Don't let me put you on blast.
I want y'all to copy, man. Your friends, show that real support out there, man. Thanks so much. Stuck in the house 3 times, you're gonna watch Tiger King and shit and some bullshit on Hulu and Netflix and all that. This time you can cop some real shit, some exclusive shit, man, for you and your folks, man. Check it out, man. I love you, brother. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm gonna see you right. See you at the top. All right, we out here, boy.
Keep his name on the streets till you lay in the dirt.
That's when me and him like clashed because she asked me on the air, how do you feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I said what I felt. They're my homeboys, I love them.
I always wanted to ask you, what was the last time you saw Pac? And where was you the day he was shot in Vegas?
Everybody knew everybody was going to be there. And the people that wasn't there because they knew everybody was going to be there. And we know everybody who wasn't there.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is Machiavelli Media. All right, so check this out. Mike Tyson did an interview on IG Live with Fat Joe. And he talked about the fact that in his heart, he believed that Tupac may have been set up by certain individuals that night in Las Vegas. And automatically, everybody's mind jumped to Puffy because Mike Tyson said the fight with Orlando, made what happened to Tupac that night possible by the people basically that wasn't there that night at the fight. He said the people that wasn't there, and we all know who that was. And like I said, the logical conclusion is that Puffy and Biggie wasn't there in Vegas that night, right? Puffy had some kind of proof that Biggie was in the studio or what have you, because the Chuck Phillips, LA Times initial report was that, Biggie paid the South to do that to Tupac. Well, check this out. It got me to thinking, it was a lot of people that wasn't there that night. A whole lot of people that wasn't there. But one of the people that should have been there, it never made sense to me why they were absent. And that person is Snoop Dogg. We all assumed, like I said, that Mike Tyson may have been talking about P. Diddy. But some of my brilliant subscribers in the comment section say, who's to say he wasn't talking about Snoop? Now, let me put the disclaimer out there. This is all speculation. I'm not insinuating that Snoop Dogg was part of the setup that killed Tupac Shakur. Not at all. I'm simply asking you, because some of y'all may know the answer to this, because I never heard a definitive answer why. Why was it? I've heard so many different excuses, but do you guys have any concrete evidence why Snoop Dogg wasn't in Vegas? I done heard everything from Snoop had a sore ankle, he pulled his hamstring. No, I'm joking. Well, no, think about it for a minute. I mean, Snoop changed his story up several times while he wasn't in Vegas. He even, it's been different accounts to where he was. He was at the studio, he was at his house, he was at one of the Dog Pound members' house, all types of stuff. But why wasn't he in Vegas? Especially for a guy that was so, adamant about asking Tupac, was he going to Vegas? You're asking him, is he going to Vegas, and you wasn't going yourself? That's kind of odd. I must admit, that's very strange. And from my understanding is that there was a mandatory trip. All Death Row artists was required to come to it. It was speculation that Pac didn't want to go. But this was an important time in Death Row's, existence for their presence to be in Vegas. For whatever reason, I guess it was a big promotional night. A lot of stars is out in Vegas for a Tyson fight. It's the biggest calendar event in Vegas. And, everybody in the who's who of the music industry was going to be in attendance. Death Row wanted their presence to be felt. They had, some major announcements they was doing at 662 that night. And, all hands on deck. So if it was mandatory for all of Death Row artists and staff to be in Vegas, once again, why wasn't Snoop Dogg there? How did he get out of that one? I'm wondering. Something else. Snoop said several times, if I would have went to Vegas, I would have been sitting in that car with Suge and Tupac. And he probably would have. Because at this time, that was the pecking order. Dr. Dre was already gone. It was Suge, it was Tupac, and then it was Snoop. Everybody else, get in where you fit in. So, photo ops, press conferences, anytime the paparazzi or the media was involved, you saw Suge, you saw Pac, and then you saw Snoop. So, there's a strong possibility that, yes, Snoop Dogg would have probably been riding in the same BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight. Another strange thing, that's odd, was the fallout between Pac and Snoop. That was odd because from the very moment Tupac got on Death Row, he talked about everything Snoop Dogg. My man, he always included Snoop Dogg in his sentences because, he wanted to show that he was part of the team. Him and Snoop got along in front of the public eye pretty good. They say Tupac had just came over to Death Row and, Death Row was basically the house that Snoop Dogg built. If you ask Suge Knight, and Pac was, being a gracious new guy when he first got there. And then fate had it that he took off like a rocket. But that wasn't the real issue of the conflict between him and Snoop. The conflict was that Snoop Dogg had a loyalty to not only Biggie Smalls, but to Puff Daddy and to Bad Boy Records as well. At this time, Tupac was waging war on Bad Boy Records and Snoop knew it. So when the opportunity presented itself for Snoop Dogg to stand beside Tupac and ride on Bad Boy, he chose not to by saying live on the radio that they his homeboys. So that caused the automatic rip between Pac and Snoop right there from the jump. So was that the reason that Snoop didn't go to Vegas, because him and Tupac was at odds? And, we don't know how deep or how serious the beef between those two was. Because Snoop said on the flight from New York, he was scared for his life, flying with, Pac and his boys and, and Suge's posse. He was by himself. He said they separated him and, he was scared to death on that flight. Or the third option could have been Biggie, like you heard Snoop say it himself, Biggie and Puffy his boys. So, maybe they told Snoop not to come to Vegas. All this is speculation, man. All this is the questions that, people have asked over the years. Did Snoop get a tip not to come to Vegas because something bad was about to happen? Is that possible? Man. Tell me what you think. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. I need you guys to share and like this video. Don't forget to sub to the channel. This is Machiavelli Media. I'm your homie Gab. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.